Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are talking right now with Marcus Hirsch, who comes to us from the Daily Racing Forum, drf.com. He's going to give us his thoughts on the upcoming Kentucky Derby. Marcus Hirsch, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So let's get right to it. The first thing I want to ask you about is the favorites. Now, normally, when I think of the Kentucky Derby, I think of there's, one horse that is getting all the hype, may or may not be warranted. Usually, it's a little bit overhyped, and I'm looking to bet against that horse. This year, though, we have three favorites, and I'll be honest, it's a deep field in general. All three of the favorites are looking pretty strong. I'm not sure if I want to bet against them or if there's any one particular one that I think might be overvalued. Of the three favorites, American Pharoah, Dortmund, and Carpe Diem, which do you think is the strongest, and which do you think is maybe the weakest, most due for a subpar performance?
Well, I think that American Pharoah he's going to be a defined favorite. I think he's going to be roughly half the price of the second favorite, who I expect to be Dortmund. Mm-hmm. I don't see Carpe Diem coming in for all that much support. I think he may be in the 8-1 range, really. Right. I think American Pharoah is a 5-2 proposition, maybe 2-1.
We know that Carpe Diem got a bad draw, right? Got the 2-post. Just very quickly, how big of a deal is that for you when you're handicapping this race? Do you see the 2 draw and you throw Carpe Diem out?
It depends on the horse. I think it's especially bad for him because he's not a drop back kind of horse. He's going to want to get some position early, and it just means he's going to have to be used a little more. I'm not throwing him out because of it, but it's not. It's definitely far from ideal. I would have much preferred to see the horse farther outside. American Pharoah, I think he has the most raw talent of any horse in the race, but that doesn't mean that he's going to win the race.
Right.
All right. Well, at the price that he is, that's the horse that I'm looking to beat.
Okay, and then Dortmund, got a great draw breaking from the 8-hole. Morning line odds are 3-1. Undefeated lifetime. A big, strong horse. My sense is that out of these three favorites, if I had to bet one of them, definitely it would be Dortmund. Would you agree with that?
Yes, that's the horse I picked on top. I do think that I have less concern about him getting the 1.25-mile distance than I do with American Pharoah. I don't think that he's necessarily going to be in the lead at all. I think that this horse is going to come a little off the pace. He has a win over the track. Just watching him gallop this week in his morning training, I thought he looked better and better, and he looked especially well to me on Thursday. I have a lot of confidence that this horse is going to run a representative race, and I don't think there's any question that he has the ability, the raw ability, to be a major factor, if not win the race outright.
All right, and just in general, these three favorites, usually, like I said, we expect the favorites to underperform a little bit or to be risky in the Kentucky Derby for a bunch of reasons. Of course, one of the huge reasons is that having a bad trip can cause such uncertainty in the race. Do you see these three favorites as being stronger or less strong than normal for the Kentucky Derby?
In the Derby prep season coming up to the race, it looks like a field that's well above average. The thing about the favorites is, when you have a strong favorite like American Pharoah, who's not going to be as strong as some, but I do think he's going to be a decided favorite, those horses tend to do well in years where you're struggling to make a case for other horses, where the rest of the field seems a cut below. I've tried to beat those horses before, like Big Brown and Barbaro. It didn't work well at all because they were just way better than everybody else. American Pharoah looks like a really good horse, but is he way better than everybody else this year? I don't see that to be the case at all. That's the difference between American Pharoah this year. If American Pharoah were in last year's race, there's absolutely no way he'd be trying to beat it because he looks so much superior to the others. He doesn't look that way to me.
It's a very deep field, and now in segment 2, we will get to the look at the long shots. Thanks so much, Marcus.